What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all doing well. Today is going to be my most nerve-wracking installation I've ever done because we're going to be cutting the front bumper, putting on a full steel one. So this whole area in the front around here is going to be completely cut. We're going to be removing that whole bottom portion, the fog light area. But wait till you see this new front bumper. It's going to look so sick. Stay tuned. A huge benefit of having this front bumper is all this is going to be exposed. So that means this, all this stuff that I've cut, all this plastic area, all the rubbing I'm having is going to be completely gone. I'm not going to have to worry about any rubbing. As you can see, I've already cut like right there, just a little bit, and I still do rub. That's on the driver's side. And over on the passenger side, I've cut even more. So I cut that up pretty high right there. This is all just crappy cutting that I needed to do to help reduce a little bit of rubbing. And like I said, I still do rub on both sides. So now won't have to deal with that. And when you look at the front bumper from this angle, the new one, basically all this area is going to be exposed. So it's going to give it like a really good stance as well, which I'm pretty stoked to see how it's going to look. I think there's two ways we can go about doing this. I can make my line from there or in that area, like I said, and just start cutting, and same on that side. And then I think that will prevent me from having to remove the whole front grille. I don't know if we need to remove the front grille anyways, which I'd rather not do because I got to remove a bunch of clips and I just don't want to do that extra work if I don't need to. So just gonna make our cuts there, and hopefully this stuff just kind of pops out from the grill, and then we'd be good to go. I know down here we have, let's see if I can show you, we have a couple bolts like right here that need to be removed. So I'm gonna go ahead and start prepping. We will need to remove the clip down here, which that one was basically already broken, I think. So that's easy. And then just use 11mm socket and remove this on both sides. So like that, and then that's already done. So what we're gonna do later on is I'll move this completely back. So just pop this out of the way and I'll just get it to stick like that, kind of maybe up a little bit more. But we'll do that on the driver's side and the passenger side. Okay, both sides are done on the inner fender well. Now we'll come down here under the truck, and we've got, where are they at? We've got one, so next to my demon brackets, we've got 1, 2, and I think that's it. Yeah, everything else, which is kind of weird, has like openings, but you don't remove anything. I knew there was more, I just couldn't see them under here, but we've also got one on the I guess on the outer part of the bumper, and then we've got on the driver's side and then one on the passenger as well. So same thing, just get both of those removed, and then we'll figure out if I need to remove this demon bracket, like this whole bracket piece, or not. Man, after removing just those 4 bolts, this is so much more flimsy on the front bumper. It feels like it's just gonna pop off right now. I don't know what else would be really holding it. I guess some clips in here, which we'll check out. And then also got to remember in here, if you plan on removing the whole front grille, which like I said, I still don't know if I need to, you do have the sensor you're gonna have to remove. And then I am gonna have to remove this wire housing right here, which is to my fog lights. So got to remember to remove that before we remove or take off the whole front bumper. Unfortunately, I don't think there's a way to get around not removing the grille, because it looks like back here, like back behind the front bumper or behind the grille, we have some clips to remove the actual front bumper area, like back in this, like back up here. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to remove that. I have a video where I do that already, so if you want to check that out, then go ahead and click down. It's down in the link below. All right, the front grille is off. Very easy to do. Just 1, 2, and then you only had 3 or 2 bolts up here, and then a couple clips, like one on this side, one on that side. And then I already removed that clip. We just have to do 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then I remove that one on the passenger side. And the wiring harness for the fog lights, we've got to pop that out, and then we'll go from there. To measure this, C4 recommends from this corner, you go straight down at 6 inches. And then you're gonna come over to this corner, and it's gonna be 3 1/8. And then like I mentioned before, this is a line you're gonna use. So through here, all the way across. But what we're gonna do is go a little bit below it. So here's our line. We're gonna use this line and then go just below the 6 inches and the 3 1/8. That's just to give me some leeway in case we were to mess up or anything like that. And then if the line's all crooked, rather than having to sand it and then we end up above the 6 3/8 inches part, we can sand it and hopefully get it perfectly level all the way across. So we marked it with the Sharpie there on the passenger side, and then we have the masking tape set up on the driver's side, and we'll cut this here like that. We won't need that, and we're gonna cut all the way across. Okay, the front bumper's off, the BAJA lights, everything's all disconnected. It was a bunch of clips. All this was connected to the front bumper, so you just had to pop it out, pull this stuff, and you have a blue tab right back there that you have to pull off of, or I guess pull the fender flares off of that. So after the front bumper's removed, all this, here's the fender flare, we're gonna have to cut that. This is all gonna have to get cut back. This, we don't do anything with this part, but everything down here, all this plastic has to come off. This whole thing, which looking at it, it's just some clips like that, and then it'll just push back. There we go, like that. It's probably all the way around. Now on the back side of the bumper, we've got to remove some clips to get all this off. So I'm thinking these are the clips all along there, which will then pop off, I guess, this whole housing, or to right here. That whole housing, and then that stuff will just get cut and removed. Okay, I just popped out that piece from the front bumper that had the fog light housing. Had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 clips I needed to remove just for the wires. And then all through here, it had a ton of clips. So you can see right there was all clips. All these right there got to be removed, and then same up top. So it's a little bit of a pain in the butt, but we got it off, and now we'll start cutting the fender flare. And we do have to remove this piece right here, because this is where the new bumper is going to get bolted to. So you got 1, 2, 3 on each side, and then this will remove that whole, or this whole front piece will then be removed. So we don't got to remove like these rivets down here. That just connects by, again, more clips there. Okay, one side is cut. Looks pretty straight. This part back here, I mean, goes at an upward angle just because of how the tape is. So I don't know if we're gonna have to actually cut upwards like that. So what I did, I just went straight across, and then we had to remove this bracket, which was here, and then I had to cut the bottom just kind of diagonally to make that fit, and then we'll do the same thing. So here's that bracket I'm talking about. It's gonna hang down a little bit right there, so we'll just cut that, and now move on to this side, passenger side. This is what I'm using, and just starting right in the middle, going all the way across. All right, both sides are cut. Everything looks pretty level. We will end up cutting all this away, like I mentioned, and now I gotta cut the actual front bumper. It's gonna be a lot longer of a cut than the little fender flares. All right, the front bumper is all cut. looks pretty good. As you can see right there, it's pretty flat. There's just some pieces of plastic that's kind of hanging up. But I can just pull that stuff back, like right here, like that. That's what I'm talking about. But it's pretty straight. Looks pretty good. And then if you don't want to cut your bumper, if you want to like save it or something, try to sell it later, there are bumper caps that you can buy that you just take off your whole front bumper and then you just put the caps on and they just clip right in. They're already pre-cut and everything. I know Running for Taco sells them and they're like around $300 or $400 powder, or not powder coated, paint matched to your truck. And it does look pretty good. You can kind of tell that they're different color, or that maybe the cement gray is not the same exact cement gray. But other than that, it would save you all the time and labor of cutting your front bumper. But again, yeah, they're like $400. So C4 sends you these brackets. One's a P and one's a D. And this piece right here, if you want to put a winch on, you're gonna have to not relocate it, but push it back. And that's what those brackets are for. So push it all the way back against the radiator. I don't have a winch right now, so we're just kind of trying to see if we should just do it anyways for later down the road when I do get one, or just leave it how it is. And then I forgot I got to cut the plastic through there, so we'll get that done right now. That plastic is very easy to cut. Here it is, and you can see it's all opened up. Just use a utility knife, so kind of just eyeballed it. If I go back here, try to get this for you guys, so I'll just go like right on the top vent, and let's see if I can do this with one hand. I might not be able to. That's gonna be too hard, I think. But so top vent right there, I'm just gonna cut right across through there. Okay, so these pieces right here, which go in there, those have to be removed, which means my demon bracket and the Rhino tow hook things need to be removed on both sides, because they do not stay in there without this end piece. So I'm gonna remove this passenger side one, and then we'll have both gone. So with the brackets that they gave you to push back the power steering coolant, the supplied hardware is gonna go in the back part of the bracket on both sides, and then the hardware that was already on this big bracket piece just goes back in and secures the bracket down. So now you can see that it's pushed up against, not completely against the radiator. You saw about an inch or half an inch or so in the back. So definitely push it further back, and again, you'll need that for when you want to put a winch on. Just put the front bumper and the grill back on. Again, that stuff is very easy. That's why I didn't record it. Put the little mark right there. Everything just clips in. Clip in, and then you'll put the 2 screws back on, and then 1, 2 clips. So you might have a couple clips left over, but nothing to worry about because you won't even need them. Move that stuff. And then you'll notice it's kind of sticking out a little bit right there. That's because we had to remove that clip that went right there, which even if we left it, it wouldn't work anyway, so it doesn't matter. But we're gonna use some Gorilla Glue, I think, and just put that flush on both sides. But it looks really good. I am very impressed with how straight of a line I cut. Oh, that's the Sharpie mark. So that's where the original marks are supposed to be. So we might have to do a little bit of sanding or a little bit more cutting, but we'll see when we try to get the bumper back on. Thought that was a chip, but it's just a Sharpie. Before I show you guys the bumper, before we put it on, here's these 3 screws where the bolts are gonna, or where the bumper is gonna secure into. So it'll just slide right into there, then we'll put bolts onto there, and then 3 on that side as well. All right, it's almost fully fastened. Just secured the bolt down here, not fully, and then these ones back here so need to be tightened as well. But you can see just a little bit of a gap through here, and then I can add weather stripping to make it just look clean, because you have the pieces of plastic hanging down. And then on this side, it looks even as well. So you see some people will have like very messed up cuts, and it'll start going back up that way, but this looks really good. Already have the light bar secured in there, just not wired up. All right, once you have 1, 2, and 3 secured, you can't forget to do that one right there towards the bottom. So right there, where's it at? Right there. Securing that, and then we will be done. The bumper will be installed. And then I did put my Demon brackets back on because they fit perfectly on these toe points. So rather than buying brand new lights with the different types of mount that goes right here, I'm just gonna buy the mount online because they sell the mount, I guess. And then this housing I'm gonna take off, just like I did for this one. Housing is off. And then I could put the black bezel on that you could purchase from BAJA Design. So what I mean by that is this is the black bezel right here. So this part I'll just get from BAJA. It's like $30. The mounts are like $15. So I'd end up saving a lot of money. So I'm just gonna go that route and not get rid of the fog lights. Hope you guys enjoyed that video. It honestly was not as bad as I thought it was. This was the most nerve-wracking modification I've done yet. But after you start cutting, it is not bad. And I'm still pretty confident I did a good cut. It is pretty solid all the way through. I just need to remove the whatchamacallit, Sharpie marks that I put on both sides. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you have any questions, let me know. And as always, we'll see you guys on the next video. Take care.